Have you ever wondered what true emptiness looks like? Not the quiet of an empty room, or the stillness of a deserted street at dawn. I'm talking about a scale so vast, so profound, that it challenges our very understanding of space and our place within it. Imagine a country larger than France, Spain, and Germany combined. Now picture that immense territory holding fewer people than a single borough of New York City. This isn't a science fiction paradox. This is a real place on our planet. This is Mongolia, a land where the horizon seems to stretch into infinity, and the silence is so complete you can almost hear the turning of the earth. This incredible emptiness begs a question, a deep and fundamental one. Why? In a world of nearly 8 billion people, a world where we are constantly searching for more space, more resources, how can such a colossal landscape remain so sparsely populated? Why is it that 99.7% of Mongolia is, for all intents and purposes, empty? Is it a choice? Is it a consequence of history? Or is it something written into the very fabric of the land itself? The answer is not a simple one. So, let us begin. Let us peel back the layers of this magnificent and mysterious land. The answer to our question lies not in a single fact, but in the grand, interconnected story of Mongolia itself, a story that holds lessons for all of humanity. To begin to understand the emptiness, you must first understand the land itself. Mongolia is a country landlocked between two giants, Russia to the north, China to the south. It is a place of extremes, a high, cold, windswept plateau. The average elevation here is over 1,500 meters, about 5,000 feet. This sheer height shapes everything. The air is thin, the sun is intense, the landscapes are monumental. There are no gentle, rolling hills here. The majestic Altai Mountains in the west, the vast arid Gobi Desert in the south. In the center, the endless treeless grasslands, the steppe. This geography dictates a harsh reality. Much of the land is not suitable for large-scale agriculture. The soil is often poor and thin. The growing season is brutally short. You cannot just plow a field and expect a bountiful harvest. Then there is the climate, a force with its own personality. Winters are long, dark, and unimaginably cold. Temperatures can plummet to minus 40 degrees Celsius. In stark contrast, summers can be hot and dry. The country averages over 250 sunny days. The land of the blue sky. You cannot speak of Mongolia without speaking of its history. And you cannot speak of its history without invoking one name, Genghis Khan. In the 13th century, a scattered collection of nomadic tribes on this very steppe were united under his rule. From this empty land, they forged the largest contiguous land empire the world has ever known. The Mongol Empire stretched from the Pacific Ocean to the heart of Europe. For a brief, brilliant moment in history, this vast emptiness was the very center of the world, a place from which armies and ideas flowed outwards to change the course of civilization. This history is a paradox. How could an empire of such immense power and influence emerge from a land with so few people? The answer lies in the skills honed by the environment itself. The nomadic lifestyle created the perfect cavalry. Mongol warriors were masters of horsemanship. Mongol warriors were masters of archery. Mongol warriors were masters of survival, but empires, like all things, eventually fade. After its peak, the Mongol Empire fractured and declined, yet these efforts never fully succeeded. At the very core of Mongolia's emptiness is a way of life as old as the steppe itself, nomadism. For thousands of years, people here have been pastoral herders. They don't live in one place. Instead, they move with their animals: goats, sheep, cattle, camels, horses. They follow the seasons in fresh pasture and water. This isn't romantic whimsy, it's a time-tested survival strategy. Resources are spread thin across a vast area. The traditional dwelling, the jur, a circular felt-covered tent, warm in winter, cool in summer. Crucially, it can be disassembled, packed onto a camel, packed onto a truck, reassembled in a new spot in just a few hours. This mobility is freedom. Home is not a fixed address, it's wherever your family and animals are. Wealth is your herd. While the nomadic heart of Mongolia beats strong across the steppe, there is another side to the story. It is the story of its cities. These are like islands of concentrated humanity in a vast ocean of green and brown, and one island is larger than all the others combined. The capital, Ulaanbaatar? Home to roughly 1.7 million people, this single city contains almost half of the entire country's population. It is a sprawling, bustling, and often chaotic metropolis. It's honestly a city of surprising juxtapositions. Modern glass skyscrapers rise next to Soviet-era apartment blocks. Buddhist monasteries hum with ancient chants just a few streets away from luxury brand stores and Irish pubs. Outside of Ulaanbaatar, Other cities are more like large towns, Erdenet, Darkhan. But the rarity of these urban centers tells the bigger story. This reality reinforces the emptiness, concentrating the settled population into a few isolated points of light on an otherwise dark map. So what is life actually like for the people who choose to live in this vast emptiness? For the nomadic herders, life is a cycle dictated by the seasons and the needs of their animals. It is a life of hard physical labor, but also one of profound freedom and independence. The day begins before sunrise with the milking of cows, goats, camels. Herders possess an incredible depth of traditional knowledge. They can read the weather in the clouds, the wind, and the behavior of their animals. In recent years, tradition has blended with modernity. Many herding families have solar panels, a television, and cell phones, connecting their isolated world to the global community. The diet is a direct reflection of the environment. One of the most famous drinks is arag, fermented mare's milk. To be offered arag is to be welcomed as a friend. This incredible emptiness has a profound consequence that extends beyond humanity. It has made Mongolia one of the last great wildlife refuges on the Asian continent. In a world where habitats are shrinking every day, where wild animals are being pushed into smaller and smaller pockets of wilderness, Mongolia offers something extraordinary: space. Its vast, undeveloped landscapes provide the room that large, roaming species need to survive. Here you can still find animals that have vanished from much of their former range. The Gobi Desert is home to the last truly wild camels, the Bactrian camel. The remote mountains of the west are a critical sanctuary for the elusive snow leopard herds of Mongolian gazelle, sometimes numbering in the tens of thousands, still thunder across the eastern steppe in one of the world's great remaining land migrations. The relationship between the Mongolian people and this wildlife is complex. Today, Mongolia is at a crossroads. Mongolia's emptiness is not just an asset for its people, it is a gift to the planet, a living laboratory for how humans and wildlife can coexist on a grand scale. What does it do to a person, to a culture, to be shaped by such immense space? The emptiness of Mongolia is not just a physical characteristic. It is a psychological and spiritual one. It molds the national character. It fosters a powerful sense of self-reliance. When your nearest neighbor is miles away, you learn to depend on yourself. This independence is a source of immense pride and a defining feature of the Mongolian spirit. This vastness also cultivates a unique perspective on time and patience. On the steppe, time is measured in seasons. There is an acceptance that some things cannot be rushed. There is also a deep, almost spiritual connection to the land and the sky. Piles of stones called ovus are found at the tops of mountain passes. This landscape is alive with meaning and power. The emptiness is more than just a place, it is the source of Mongolian identity. In the end, we return to our question: why is Mongolia so empty? We have seen that the answer is a tapestry of harsh geography, an extreme climate, a history of empire, and a nomadic culture that requires immense space. It is not empty by accident, but by a complex interplay of nature and human choice that has unfolded over millennia. The land itself has set the terms, and for centuries, the Mongolian people have brilliantly adapted, creating a way of life that is in harmony with those terms. But perhaps the more important question for us today, in the 21st century, is this: what does Mongolia's emptiness mean for the world? In an age of unprecedented environmental crisis, Mongolia stands as a powerful reminder of what we have lost. It is one of the planet's last great intact temperate grasslands. The future of this emptiness is not guaranteed. The pressures of climate change threaten the delicate balance of the steppe. Mongolia faces the profound challenge of navigating a path to modern prosperity. Ultimately, Mongolia's vast, silent landscapes are more than just empty space on a map. They challenge us to think about our own relationship with the world around us. Mongolia's emptiness is a precious global asset. It is a lung for the planet, a sanctuary for the wild, and a mirror that reflects a part of our own humanity we may have forgotten.